Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. Tonight's podcast is 7 reasons why I admit I screw up, I wake up. And that's the thing. All the controversy and adversity, the whole world is showing us it's time to wake up. But we're still stuck in obedient ways of life that we're going to stay stuck in yesterday. And that is something I really understand. Chaos, challenges, adversity, controversy, and all the stuff going on in the world is our frozen in time subconscious mind comfort zone cloning, because our minds love pain. The subconscious mind understands pain, and that's what it replays in our life. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, dissolves obedient leadership to instant let fly my sovereign leadership. For me to admire, I'm awakened aware of my daring, ingenious, bold insights that channel I screw up for sovereign ignition and dissolve the obedient matrices within myself. As I admit, I screw up to wake up because every flaw fractures the facade of obedience and frees the raw, revolutionary acumen, wisely signaling my waves of wisdom, appreciation, visionary epiphanies today. It's a raw signal of my sovereign stances and my sovereignty activation. Mistakes become a portal. As we use a mistake as a portal, we dissolve programming and let our presence fly in an easy way. As I wake up is a jailbreak from my ancestors all the way from my past to present moment. Each screw up shatters the script of dipshit and ruptures the rebellious energy of my sovereign leadership, takes wings to fly in the wild frontiers of foresight with unfiltered energy that allows me to move forward life. See, screw up, and how sometimes we cover up screw ups by never admitting it's a screw up. How do you do that? I'd be a professional at that. But it's really about I admit to me I screw up. So when I can admit it to me, I screw up, I wake up. Because everything in the physical world is an awakening. However, we're trying to use what we think and know in the real, out there in the unrehearsed, uneducated, unexplained world, and somehow the world just becomes a cloning of yesterday. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, liberating me from me. That's the saying you want to open up to, is I liberate me from me. I energetically hearken my keen, clever insights that honor my sovereign prowess of screwing up as a sacred ignition of my flight of life. As I admit, I screw up because perfection is a prison where we live today. Everything's trying to be perfect, and we're really stuck in a prison of toxicity. But my inner rising veracity lives in the trembling, trend-setting wizardry of chaos, challenges, but it's an inner rupture of my robust trust of my abilities. I wake up never whispers. It erupts, dissolves my hidden, corrupted files of denial that I encompass as I rise through my inner ruptures of my rebellious utopian prowess, trend-setting ubiquitous rebellious energy. See, that's the thing. We have to open up to be a little bit rebellious, to rise out of the plain, mundane ways of life. As my screw-ups shatter the mask of the past, I meet me beneath the mist and opens my mastery of my daily communication connections and contours of my lush, relaxing lifestyle. See, that's the thing. Life is a communication connection and the contours instead of boundaries. If you look at the earth, it's in a contour. So when you get into the contours, you get into the energy flow of life. It comes an energy innovation and an exit to physical world contours of your celebrations. Each stumble routes fresh signal ways of wizardry as I liberate by losing the lie of I told myself, I lose the lie of what other people told me. Because we really live in a lie of education and all this because it's telling us that that'll take us forward. Education is nothing more than something from a book. When you rise out of the books, you unhook the snookery of your own thinking memory mind and you liberate the inspiration of your intuitive uh, landscapes of your literary audacity, naturally dawning your dreamer's dexterity. As I liberate by losing the lie I told myself, I told myself instantly cut away all the dismay of yesterday for me to enjoy today and enjoying the physical world. I wake up by falling through the facade because freedom is a mystically messy, never flawless experience. It's untamed, unrehearsed, uneducated. It's on everything because the here and now is unrehearsed and uneducated, untamed. But we trying to put a medicated thinking world in something that has that is just just free flying energy. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, energizes vulnerability, and strengthens my relationship, personal, and my autodidact entrepreneur to communicate and connect with life in the contours of my dreamer's dexterity. I rose to rebelliously embody ingenious insights that spotlight how my sovereign screw ups energize my vulnerability, fortify the revolutionary flow through me across all my domains of dexterity, ability, and audacity to listen to my way of life as I hearken the energy. I admit I screw up to wake up because vulnerability is never a weakness. It's voltage. And voltage is what operates electricity. It's the oomph of electricity. It powers every authentic connection I craft within myself. I craft the raft to float on my rivers of prosperity. As this flips the narratives, your openness becomes energetic infrastructure that awakens your internal natural freedoms, realizing, appreciate, streaming today's revolutionary, ubiquitous celebrations, tantalizing, unlimited riches every day. It is up to you to understand we've never made a mistake in life. We've had awakenings, but we're so taught that every mistake is bad. Well, a mistake is a dead end. It's act like a boundary. It's a dead end. But if you open up to listen, you can get a contour and go around it because a contour is an energy that will surround it and allow you to motivate and move forward in life. My wake up energizes veracity. When I drop the facade, I rise of vibrancy, and every relation, personal or entrepreneurial, feels the signal of my waves of wisdom, visionary epiphanies, as I now witness the world to rise, shine, and energize rather than trying to slog through life with yesterday's thinking and knowing. As I feel the autodidact audacity and my personal prowess, I feel the signal waves of brave for me to face and embrace my life with liberating internal fervor energy every day. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, invigorates my gladiator gumption, that instigates my innate talents to embrace clever, liberating key points that celebrate my sacred screw up tenacity that sparks my gladiator gumption. As I understand, I screw up to wake up because friction fuels the fierceness, never my failure. See, we've been taught as failure happens. Failure has never happened in our life. Failure happens in our thinking memory mind and what we taught ourselves. But failure in the real world is just showing us a better way to experience the situation. Every stumble I've taken sharpens my sovereign's energy. Gladiator gumption's never polished. It's earned in the arena of my life experiences where I rise of wisdom, insight, clarity, and the pioneering toughness to look life in the eye with a wise, liberating energy. See, that's the thing. Life is energy. Energy, whatever word you want to use, but it's never thinking and knowing. You want to control a world, you show them how to think and know, and you'll control that world forever. And something I've really expanded into is this world is stuck in obedient leadership. We're taught obedience from the womb, and as we grow older and then you get higher, well, everybody has somebody, but you start getting this, and then you get up into where we think they're the leaders. They're obedient to somebody else, and that goes into a whole different thing. And when people are telling you how to lead, they're unsure because they're unsure of how to lead because they're never showing you how to lead. They're showing you from indoctrinated comfort zone programming. The whole world is just comfort zone programming, just a different way. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up shattering my propagandized thinking, knowing, obedient, indoctrinated, educated ways. I express energetic, innovative, ingenious insights that crack the shell of indoctrinated education. Lets your sovereign signal waves of your soul surging savvy to rise, shine, and energize. As I admit, I screw up to wake up because my inner rupture shatters the illusion that thinking equals knowing and obedience equals wisdom. That's all a fallacy. I am never rejecting the curriculum. I'm now writing my dreams in the cosmos skies of wise to color my world with my dreamer's dexterity. As my screw ups detonates the diploma, each wake up disarms the indoctrinated mind and bursts my sovereign audacity that comprehends living in the here and now, naturally optimizes wisdom for me to play on my fields of health, wealth, and fun of the sun's splendor. And something I've really opened up to is as I've been in the self-help world since 1997, but I never really realized it until the last 2 years how indoctrinated and controlled self-help is. It doesn't let you out of the railroad tracks of life, keeps you between the past and yesterday, but never gets you to the here and now. Why I screw up, I wake up, rockets me out of politically correct perfection programming. And see, the world is trying to be perfect in an imperfect, messy mess. And when you said something you think it's going to go perfect, I don't know what's out there, but them mystical sources, they like to see whether you're going to cry or dance, but they're going to do one of the two. But they're going to enhance the dance with their devilry and see if you want to play or you want to cry. They don't care either way because you're going to get this one and the next one till you rise, shine, and energize the desired outcome. I energize my canny, clever insights that torch the altar of politically correct perfection programming and launch my energetic liberation, rocketing my free-flowing fortitude to admit to me, I screw up, I wake up, because sanitized success sedates the innate talents as my raw inner rapture wires my fiery desire to dance and dawn my my seashores a stunning success as I set my lazy boy enjoying life. All my missteps mock the mask. Each blunder blasts me beyond the bland choreography of correctness. How's the world trying to live in political correctness, thinking, oh, we can't do this? Until we get a little rebellious hellraiser tenacity thrown in this politically correct world, we're just going to swirl in the whirl of yesterday's dizziness. You know, I've been alive for 70 years now, but the last 10 years has just been the same thing until I woke up to my energetic liberation, politically incorrect optimism, and inspiration. Politically incorrect inspiration dissolves politically correct desperation. You know, everybody's trying to live in a society of paint by numbers. If I do this, I do this. The world is an imperfect mess. And our imperfect prowess colors that imperfection to be to sculpt a Michelangelo mural of our magical sovereign valor. If you take the word self out of your life and use the word sovereign, you're going to be surprised how you liberate you from you. And that's something I really understand, is liberating me from me. And stop trying to fit into what I don't fit into. Why, I appreciate my gut gallantry to realize and admire I screw up, I wake up. As I let fly my sassy, classy insights that toasts my gut gallantry, honors my sovereign swagger. Of screwing up to wake up guides me to understand and embody. My gut gallantry bows to no script. Each screw up is a standing ovation for my unfiltered acumen, audacity, ability, agility, and aliveness. I'm going to read that again. My gut gallantry bows to no script. Each screw up is a standing ovation for my unfiltered aliveness, blessing me with my sovereign savvy and my autonomous audacity to look life in the eye and listen to the wisdom I receive from the universe. I admire life is a mess that moves me, because waking up is never polite. It's primal, and my gut understands the way for me to play on my mountaintops of mystical, magical bliss. See, the only one that can play in your life's magical bliss is you. So as you awaken to it, you get to feel the gallantry of yourself. Why, my gut gallantry faces and embraces I screw up to wake up, liberates me from me as my classy, clever insights that spotlight my gut gallantry as the saboteur of self-imposed shackles that fell away yesterday. See, that's the thing. When you wake up to your gut gallantry, dissolving that sovereign saboteur within yourself and all the self-imposed shackles and hacklers inside you, it all falls away like yesterday. My gut gallantry never flinches. It flips the script of my dipshit ways and frees me from the version of me that feared to fall. See, I'm not afraid of falling. but I'm very apprehensive about the landing. And you tell that to a safety man and they get all frustrated and bent out of shape. See, the world is too educated and too stuck in their comfort zone programming for us to rise, shine, and rise out of this situation we're in today. I screw up to wake up because the real jailbreak is never from the world. It's from the polished imposters I once performed that are all inside me. Everything you want to boot out of your life, it's inside you. Stop playing the game. This guy did this guy did this. They did nothing. I did everything to myself. So when I woke up and I booted the imposter out of me, I rose to my gladiator gumption to rise, shine, and energize. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, disintegrates my having to be right about everything. And man, that was one of my stubborn, stupid things I was really entrenched with. But now I just understand that stubborn stupidity, and it never mattered. I express my keen, liberating insights that slice through the need to be right and ignite my sovereign surrender as I admit I screw up to wake up because being right is a cage of rage as veracity breathes beneath the wreckage and it pilfers through the wreckage of my yesterdays for the wisdom of here and now, because most of the time we go through life avoiding the wisdom of our unsavory situations. I know I did. Now, when it happens, I really question where's the wisdom? Whatever open ended question or whatever gets me through the stumble and bumble and BS of myself, I rise, shine, and energize. My stumbling disintegrates the script of dipshit. When I drop the needy, greedy seed enough of having to be right, I rise my authenticity to electrify my whys, to illuminate my life with my health, wealth, success, and abundance I desire to receive and experience. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up discharging my egotistical arrogance. Does anybody got any of that egotistical arrogance hanging around? If not, I'll loan you some. But I'm really starting to understand. I listen, I dissolve that egotistical arrogance. I now esteem my ingenious, clever key points that puncture egotistical arrogance with sovereign voltage to smithereens, admitting I screw up is an ego compost pile of denial that flowed away yesterday as arrogance dissolves and wisdom sprouts from the rot of my egotistical arrogance, because most of my challenges come from my egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance, stubbornness, hard-headedness, and whatever else there I didn't want to listen to. So as I listen, I glisten, boldly sending the rot of yesterday, sprouting today's bloom, boom, blooming bowl flowers of foresight. As I wake up by owning the mess of my life, as I understand perfection is the loudest lie I ever told myself. That's the loudest lie you've ever been told. Life is a mess. Mystical, energetic, streaming, sovereignty. But you understand life is a mess, and it's your individualized mess you can rise, shine, and color your way. Why I admit I screw up, I wake up, destroying my know-it-all ignorance, energizes my sharp-witted, sovereign, infused insights that slice through the fog of my ego and arrogance and beam with wakeful clarity. Every screw-up is a sacred sledgehammer, shattering the shrine of certainty so I can kneel at the altar of aliveness and awareness that flips failure into a ritual of revelations. You're never just admitting error, you're honoring it as an ignition of insight. And I had a lot of insight in my life. When I destroy my know-it-all ignorance, I deploy my feel-it-all, trading control for communication, communion, connection, and contour celebrations as ignorance for intuitive ignition. This now frames humility as energetic mastery. Never shrinking, I'm expanding of the deeper signal ways of attunement, soul surgery, and heart surge of my savvy, ubiquitous, rebellious gumption every day, understanding my paths of enlightenment, illuminating my trails of triumph, because I understand. I screw up, I wake up to enjoy day because my energetic listening and my inner 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 peace rises from my heart, from the soles of my feet through the top of my head, massaging the universe with peace. And I want to thank you, and I want to say good night. And we'll see you Tuesday night. And may your life always be as blessed as you are a blessing to me in the world.